Well, hello, 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 wherever you may be. I am the Lord of the Dance. Is that a song? Yeah, it is, isn't it? Sorry. It's very early in the morning, and I'm actually having a wonderful, wonderful morning today, riding along the east coast of Taiwan, which is road number 2, which I've taken many times before, but this is a fantastic road. You can see behind me. It's all mountains, and it's right by the sea, and it's absolutely fantastic. I'll show you some B-roll of that. It's one of those roads that, like I said, is fantastic, but you have to come early. What I mean early, so this morning I woke up at 5 a.m. I was actually staying on the East Coast. Got up at 5 a.m., left at, what time was it? 5:45. Went to an area where I can watch the sun coming up over the horizon, and then of course made my way north. It's a great road, and I've done it many, many times, and every time I do it is absolutely spectacular. There's a few reasons for wanting to do it early in the morning. Number one, no traffic. This has been recorded during the midst of Chinese New Year. And yesterday afternoon, I was checking the road cameras with an app all along this coast, and there was literally a traffic jam. And on the weekends, there's also a traffic jam because people come to spots like the one that I'm at now and watch the sunrise and take pictures and do other things. So you have to leave early. The second thing is this is a main road for trucks coming from the east coast of Taiwan heading to Taipei Port, which is on the west coast of Taiwan. And if you come on this road probably after 10 o'clock, maybe starting at 9 o'clock in the morning, there are trucks and trucks and trucks and trucks and trucks, which is just not very enjoyable. So you come here when the sun is rising all along the east coast of Taiwan, the northern area. The southern east road of Taiwan is even nicer than this one, and I'll go there one day and I'll show you some video of that. It's quite extraordinary. As I've said before, riding in the morning is one of my favorite times. And as I was riding this road, well, a question came into my head. It's actually not a question, but it's a topic that has been discussed on another channel. Wait, I should pull up the name of it because it is actually a really good channel that I came across by accident. Trekopolis. Yes, I think I'm pronouncing it correct. Trekopolis. I'll put a link in the description box below. And he did this video on especially people in the US, and I suppose the same could be said for Europe as well, where I'm from, that motorcycles and scooters are very expensive. And why are they so cheap in Asia? Well, that kind of really depends. Here in Taiwan, motorcycles are expensive. And that's because there's a hefty duty, import duty that is, and tax on them. So, I can give you an example. The Harley-Davidson Pan America in Taiwan, the price for one in the US, Canada, the UK, and the European Union, you can buy two. That's how expensive it is. Now, getting to one of the most popular modes of transportation here in Asia, which is scooters. In Taiwan, scooter prices are pretty much the same that you would find in North America or in Europe, and in Japan, and in South Korea, and in Singapore. But if you go to places, let's say, like the Philippines and Indonesia, Thailand, Vietnam, they are very cheap. And there's a few reasons for that. First, these are developing countries. Second of all, is you can actually have the same model of scooter. We're just going to use one as an example, but this will kind of give you an idea. It's a scooter that I've talked about before because it's one that I have, and I've really enjoyed it, and I even enjoy the new one as well. It's the Yamaha BWS. Now, the Yamaha BWS, which they also sell in Indonesia and the Philippines, is different from the one that they sell here in Taiwan and in the United States as well. They look practically identical. There are, however, some small changes to them. So, for example, the BWS that we have here in Taiwan is made by Yamaha here in Taiwan, and they also export them to a number of markets as well. The ones that are sold in Indonesia and the Philippines are made locally. So, number one, labor costs are a lot lower in Indonesia and the Philippines. Second of all, because these are two developing countries or emerging markets, there are certain components that are not as, they're good quality components, but they're a little bit cheaper in price, if you can understand what I mean. So the brakes, the brake calves, and other components, they're going to buy lower cost ones for that market. So they're really made for that market. Build quality, there is going to be a difference. Definitely the ones that are made in Taiwan for sale here and for export are going to be of a higher quality than, let's say, the ones that are made for domestic market in the Philippines or in Indonesia. That's what I'm talking about trucks. They're just starting now, so I'm going to make this short. Getting to that. Now, I have known people that have said, well, I'm just going to buy it in the Philippines and Indonesia and bring it over. Well, you can try. Now, here in Taiwan, if you buy a BWS from, let's say, the Philippines or Indonesia and bring it into Taiwan, you can bring it into Taiwan, but it won't pass any emission standards. It won't even pass any of the road standards. So this is what I'm saying. They make it at a lower price for the local market, which is going to impact the price. And if you think about labor costs, I mean, labor costs here in Taiwan are quite high. Same in Japan. So if they were to take, let's say, a BWS scooter made here in Taiwan and sell it in Indonesia, they would either have to manufacture it here to what people would expect in Indonesia, because the ones that they have here for export to the US or Europe or the UK and Australia would just be too expensive. So these are some of the factors that come into play about why scooters are a lot cheaper in these places. The other reason, number three, I think I should be number three now, is the scale. I mean, if you think about it, Taiwan per capita has more scooters on the road than any other country in the world. Indonesia and Thailand and Vietnam are probably not that far behind. So, because it's such a mass market, I mean gigantic market, it is going to bring the price down compared, let's say, to North America or Europe, which, okay, I'll give you an example. For example, which one can I think of? There's a company here in Taiwan called Kymco. They have one model that they export to Indonesia. It's made specifically for the Indonesian market. They also import the same model to the US and Canada. Now, to the US and Canada, maybe they'll send over 100. To Indonesia and the Philippines, they'll send thousands. So that also is going to bring the cost down as well. It's all about scale. I'm not a fan of scooters, like I said before, but there are some models that I actually do like. Anyway, I'm going to get going before the traffic starts picking up, which it already starting is, because I have to be somewhere for breakfast. At what time? What time is it now? It's 8 o'clock, and I have to be there for breakfast at 9:30. Like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know where you are and what scooter and motorcycle prices are in your area. And I'll see you soon. And by the way, Gong Xi Fa Cai. because it's Chinese New Year, Year of the Dragon. Or I'll also, for those who are Cantonese speakers, if there's any Cantonese speakers, Gong Hei Fat Choi.